You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of wine, and I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas. Hey there friends, how's it going? So in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to play Blue Christmas, the song we all know from Elvis, 1957, wonderful tune. So it's going to be a key of C version, very strum friendly. I'm going to cut a few corners, but it's going to be in the name of making it easier to play. So here's a playthrough. Stick around for a lesson and an explanation of some of the things I'm doing. I'll see you on the other side. Let's go. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on green Christmas tree won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of wine, and I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas. All right, there we have it. Super fun song. Now, again, just a quick note about this arrangement and everything. Key of C, okay? Add capo on the 4th fret if you want to play along with Elvis's recording using the chords I show you. I'm doing it in key of C, using key of C chords. Number 1, because I find those easier to strum, and number 2, because it fits my voice better. A couple other general notes is I might be simplifying a few of the things, especially when it comes to the diminished chord in the chorus and everything. I just want to make this a strum-friendly thing that most of us can play, right? If you're really, really fancy and want to get advanced with stuff, I'm sure your ear is going to guide you in the direction of what I'm not doing right and everything. But, you know, keep in mind this is as beginner a friendly version as I can make this, okay? First up, let's look at the verse and use this as a jumping off point. In general, when you see my write-ups here, you know, I'll have a blue Christmas without you. The way to understand this is in this song, every time you see a chord written above the word, the lyrics, that's going to be one measure of that chord, meaning 4 beats, okay? And it's like that on the entire page. So basically, if you want to know the chord progression and you're not sure how long to stay on each chord, what I just said explains it, right? Every time you see a chord, it's 4 counts. So if you put a metronome on or a drum track or whatever, or just tap your foot in a reliable manner, you could just strum, say, on the 1 count or to get started with, right? I'll have a blue 2, 3, 4 Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Okay, that's the easiest way to get started is you can do a single strum of each chord. If you want to get a bit more, a slightly bit more advanced, I mean, this is still very beginner friendly. You could do a strum on the 1 and the 3 counts, right? I'll have a blue 2, 3, 4 Christmas, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's a quick highest level thing I want you to know about rhythm and timing as far as how long to stay on each chord. I'll give you some more advanced strums we can work on in a little bit, but let's look at the different sections and the chords we're going to need so you can understand how to play things, right? And then again, later on, add the strumming to taste. So looking at verse part 1, as I just had up here, just going between C and G. Okay, then you're going to have this G7, right? Now, anytime you see a G7, you could just keep playing a regular G if you wanted. It's going to work fine. The G7, it's going to sort of, you know, add a bit of this note right here. Okay, this is the flat 7 relative to our G root note for that chord. It's going to make things sound a bit more tension. It's going to add some tension that it's going to want to resolve back to that C, okay? So 2 options for the G7. You could do this version where it's 3rd, 2nd, open, 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 1st. Okay, this is the special note you want to pay attention to, this F. Or what you could do is basically, you could add this note right here as well. 4th string, 3rd fret. This is not as required, it's a bit trickier to do, but this note is an F, just like this note's an F. And in either case, the G7 is going to sound good when you go back to a C. So however you do your G7 is fine. You even could do it like this if you wanted to. Right? 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, open, open, 3rd. Because you're going to get that F in there, which is going to sound nice when it resolves to the C. Okay? So that's what you need for the verse. Now, when we get to the verse part 2, right? Decorations of red. C7. I'll talk about this in a minute. F. 2 measures of F. Okay, we have a walk down here, which we're going to skip at first. Then we go to a D7. Won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. Okay, so the new chords here. We have our C, C7. We're just going to put our pinky down on the 3rd string, 3rd fret. Okay, so practice going from your regular C to a C7. This C7 is going to ramp up the tension, which is going to want to resolve to the F, okay? So anytime you see these 7th chords, they're basically juicing up the tension that's going to make our ear expect that next chord, which resolves things, okay? So our C, 7, and then we go to an F. Now, you could play F by barring all 6 strings, as I have here. Most of the time, though, almost always these days, I just do the middle 4 strings, the sort of simplified version of F. I'm not going to press any frets down on the thickest or thinnest string. Now, sometimes I will use my thumb to wrap around the back end of the guitar here and get that 1st fret of the low E string. I have several separate videos teaching you all this if you need help. Use the F, it's going to work for you, right? This middle 4 strings version is going to be just fine, okay? Now D7, just thinnest 4 strings. The nice part is if we're coming from this F, this middle 4 strings F, our index finger is where it needs to go, and we get that D7, and then we go to the G, okay? And when I'm doing the G, you might have noticed I'm sort of not pushing down the 5th string sometimes. I'm just muting it with my ring finger there, okay? But that verse part 2, decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. Okay? A couple things I'll say here about the walk down. I'll just cover it now. I had this little graphic. Those 3 notes, if you can squeeze them in, this is a bit more advanced, so I wouldn't sweat this at first, but basically 4th string, right? 2nd fret, 1st fret, open. It's going to set things up nicely to the D. You don't have to do it. The other thing I'll notice is for the G, you're not here with me. What sounds really good there is if we go from this G to this, you can call this a G sus or a C over G. It's basically going to put these 2 fingers down where they would normally go for a C. It just sounds nice because listen to the melody, right? Won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me, right? Here, you're not here with me, you're not here. We want to add this note to the G to match the vocal melody. You're not here with me. Okay, that's something you can do, which sounds pretty cool there. So after that, we go back to the first part of the verse we just did, right? And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling. Okay, now we have the chorus, and this is very similar to the verse part 2 that we just learned, right? You'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white. Now this part gets tricky, right? Christmas of white, but I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas. The new chord here is going to be this D7 over F sharp, okay? Now, if this is tricky, just do a regular D7. So, you'll be doing all right with your Christmas of white, but I'll... Okay, that's going to sound just fine if you do it like that. How I like to do things, though, is I'll do the middle 4 strings F with the wrapped thumb. And then if you can, do this D7 over F sharp. What this is going to do is it's going to keep these two notes in the top half of the chord, and then the bottom, your bass note's going to go from this F to this F sharp, and then it's all about resolving to the G bass note for the G, okay? So listen again, right? You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white, but I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas. Again, if that's tricky for you, just do a regular C to C7, then to F, then D7, then G, okay? That's gonna be the simplest way to do it, but if you wanna get more advanced, you can do this version that has the bass notes going up. But only do that if you can cleanly control your bass notes so that you get that ascending sound from the F to the F sharp to the G, okay? You kind of get that as well if you did a baby F and then you did a D7. You can hear the F to the F sharp to the G on the treble strings, right? But I'm opting for the version that's a bit more bass note friendly, right? Okay? So that's all you're going to need to play this song as far as a simple possible version. Again, you can skip the walk down, you can skip that D7 over F sharp and just do a regular D7 instead. Now, a strum I want to teach you, right? I showed you this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's very, very basic. A next one that's still kind of basic is a down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and okay. This is a nice one because we're not targeting any bass notes, we're not doing any alternating bass notes, right? And you can use this to do a relatively strum-friendly version. If that strumming pattern is new to you, what I recommend doing is putting on Elvis's version, cover your strings like this. Don't worry about the chords, but just go through, stay in time, and then practice. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down. Literally play along with him doing this and try to stay in time. If you can do that a few times, it's going to feel awkward at first, but the more you do it, the more you're going to get comfortable with the groove of things, right? So really quick, how that would sound if we did, let's do verse part 1 and the chorus like that, right? And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling. Chorus, you'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white, but I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas. Okay, so that's the simple strum there. I kind of flubbed that second to last chord. Let me show you some more advanced stuff you can do here, though. Starting with the rhythm and the strumming. With Elvis and the vibe of this song, I think it really kind of begs for a little bit of that alternating bass note, right? I'm just going between a C and a G here, so my G7. But notice how my bass notes are alternating, okay? So this is the strum I'm using. It's a bass down, up, bass down, up, bass down, up. When you say bass, that means play the bass note of whatever chord you're playing. And optionally, you can alternate that bass note for each chord. Now, I have a separate lesson showing you how to use alternating bass notes in every single chord in an open position at least, right? Tons of other lessons I have looking at strumming and rhythm in general. Check out my website for some of the more nuanced lessons there, right? But here's how that would sound if you want to get into this. Is let's just look at the verse part 1, right? I'll have a blue Christmas without you. Okay, G7. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Okay, now verse part 2, it's the same kind of thing, but let me show you this walk down in context. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree. Don't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. Okay, So that shows you everything I already put together as far as the "You're not here with me." Remember? Da, 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 da. But otherwise, we're just doing the alternating bass notes on those chord shapes I've already shown you in that walk down. Okay? If you're going to do the walk down, you got to practice it enough so you can nail it. If you flub it, it can really kind of kill the vibe of things, right? So it is something for you to practice, though. Now, instrumental. I'll talk about this in a second. Okay, now you might be like, hey, what he was playing doesn't match the tab. What I have tabbed out here is what's in the song sheet, okay? This is the foundation of everything that I just played. I added a lot more filler strums, but this is the foundation, right? If we ignore those filler strums, I trust that you hear that that is the melody he's singing, right? I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue thinking about you. What we can do, though, is add some filler strums in between the gaps there. There's some gaps, right? We're hanging out on those notes for a while sometimes. For example, we do that first little phrase. We end up on the second fret of the fourth string. What your left hand should be doing, though, is putting itself into the C major chord shape. Then you could just do some bass note strumming. And then pick the bass line up again. And then here, for the second fret on the fifth string, we want to be in a G major position. And then for this one, this is really just G7. Remember I talked about this G7 voicing you can do? If you just do the thinnest four strings, this is a G7. It has this F bass note. I'm basically keeping my pinky on the thinnest string, third fret. Okay? Anything I strum on those thinnest four strings is going to sound good because it's all in the G major chord anyway. Then we go back to a C. Alternating bass notes between 5 and 4. Okay, let me do it again a couple times. I know this, you might want it tabbed out even more exact, but I would say what you have here are the building blocks. Practice these over and over again. Practice your alternating bass note strumming over and over again, and really get them to the point where you know them both cold, and you're going to naturally find your strumming hand starting to add those filler strums organically. This is the kind of thing it takes a while to get used to. You're not going to just pick it up and go with it, right? Let me do it again. I'm going to show you something. Okay, when you walk up to the G, I have it tabbed out like this, right? Third fret, second fret, open, third. What you could do, though, is on the fourth string, open, second, third, from our D to our E to our F. Da, da, da. Those are all notes in the C major scale, so it's going to sound good. It's going to end up on the note we want to end up on anyway. It's different than this, but they both will work. Whether you do that or this. Okay? It's up to you. My point is, you got to end up on this note. Okay, so let's play out the instrumental and then go into the final chorus. So here's how it sounds. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white, and I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas. And look at this little diagram for the ending here, right? Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, down. And then we're good. That is going to be our ending there. So that's how you play the entire song of Blue Christmas, y'all. Again, if you want to get this song sheet, it's available for purchase. It's officially licensed, has the lyrics and chords like I mentioned. Now, if you remember on my site, songnotes.net, you get a 50% discount code when you buy this and any of my other licensed song sheets. And then members also will get access to all my courses, my extended videos, jam tracks, all my instructional PDFs, right? This one is not used in this lesson necessarily, but just to show you what I'm talking about, the kind of things that help you learn the techniques, whether it's strumming or the fretboards or scales or finger style. I have hundreds of these cheat sheets, right? You get access to all of those with membership. And then for my licensed song sheets with lyrics, you get a 50% discount code on those. So head on over to songnotes.net if you want more. And I have a bunch of other Christmas songs as well. All my traditional songs, you know, the old classics, Silent Night, Oh Holy Night, etc. Those are available included with membership directly since they're public domain songs. So you can get those printouts and have some fun. So take care, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.